Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Urvashi, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about how can we make out from a birth chart if we can depend on the owner of the chart, if this person is dependable, if this person is trustworthy, if this person is a person of principles, if this person is uprighteous, if this person follows the path of dharma. Dharma is being, if you follow your dharma, it means you're being uprighteous. If you go against your dharma, it means you're not being uprighteous. So we go through a lot of situations in life, right from when we make friends in school, in college, when we're looking for a roommate while we're studying, or when we've just started working, and we go through situations where people backstab us, where people do not stick to their words. You may have gone through situations where you got into a bad relationship, that you ended up getting ditched. Many of you would have gone through situations where your colleagues would have backstabbed you, or a business partner, that is even worse. Somebody you depend on for your business, somebody you are in partnership with, backstabs you. So these are situations where you start wondering, how can astrology guide you on what the person is like, on whether you can depend on the person for something as important as a business partnership, as a partnership in life, as in getting married, as in sharing a room. Is this person dependable? Is this person a person of principles? Will this person stick to their commitments? Will this person backstab you? Will this person be uprighteous no matter what? Or will this person take a twist, when they see benefits somewhere else? So situations where, you would know of situations where love relationships break up because the man or the woman or the lady saw a better option somewhere, somebody who had more money. What is important for this person? Is wealth more important? Is commitment, being uprighteous, more important? Is dharma more important? What is important for this person? Is our principles important or not? Is this person a person of principles or not? As simple as that. How do we see that from a birth chart? So any one thing cannot tell you everything about a chart. There are so many permutation and combinations in a chart. There's 9 planets, 12 houses, 27 nakshatras, and many divisional charts. But there are certain things very, very strongly impacting a person's personality. The D1, of course, the main chart is your personality, and certain placements are very important. They impact the personality a lot. So I'm going to be talking about that one important placement, and how can you quickly from a chart judge whether this person is a person of principles or whether this person will backstab you at the drop of a hat. So it's called the directional strength of planets. That's how you will judge what this person, what kind of intelligence this person has. Directional strength. We know that a birth chart has directions. So the first house is actually east, the 7th house is west, the 4th house is north, and the 10th house is south. I'm sharing this chart with you, and I have placed the planets in the houses where they have maximum directional strength. So in this chart you can see Jupiter and Mercury in the first house. So if Jupiter and Mercury in a birth chart are in the first house, it means they are Digbali. In Hindi we call them Digbali. In English you would say they have directional strength. Every planet has some directional strength, but in certain charts you will see some planets will have 0 directional strength. So the houses these planets are placed in, the chart that I'm showing to you, not the signs, forget about the numbering 1 to 3 is just to help you understand the houses. The first house, the topmost house, is where Jupiter, Mercury are strong. The 10th house, you have Sun, Mars and Ketu. The 4th house, we have Venus and Moon. And the 7th house, you have Saturn and Rahu. That is where these planets are strong. And they have the maximum points in directional strength. The maximum points are 60. In the houses opposite to where they are placed, they have directional strength of 0. So if you have Jupiter or Mercury in the 7th house, the directional strength is 0. Similarly, if you have Moon or Venus in the 10th house, directional strength is 0. If you have Sun, Mars, Ketu in the 4th house, directional strength is 0. If you have Saturn or Rahu in the 1st house, their directional strength is 0. So this is how you can simply see the directional strength of a planet. But it's not necessary that a planet would have 100% directional strength or 0 directional strength. It can be, in between as well. So let's start from the first house. If Jupiter, Mercury are in the first house, they get 60 points. If they are in the 2nd or 12th house, they get 50 points. Keep reducing the points by 10 each time. Go backwards. If they are in the 3rd or the 11th house, they get 40 points. In the 10th, 4th house, they get 30 points. In the 5th, 9th house, they have 20 points. In the 6th, 8th house, they have 10 points. In the 7th house, 0 points. Similarly, Saturn, Rahu in the 7th house have 60 points. Now start going backwards. 6th, 8th house, 50 points. 9th, 5th house, 40 points. 10th, 4th house, again 30 points. 11th, 3rd house, 20 points. 12th, 2nd, 10 points. In the ascendant, if you have Saturn, Rahu, then they would have 0 points. Now let's come down to Moon and Venus. Moon and Venus are having 60 points in the 4th house, maximum number of points. In the 5th, 3rd house, 50 points. 2nd, 6th house, 40 points. 1st, 7th house, 30 points. 12th, 8th house, 20 points. 9th, 11th, 10 points. 10th house, 0 points. Similarly, Sun, Mars, Ketu, maximum points in the 10th house. 60 points in the 10th house. 11th, 9th, 50 points. 12th, 8th, 40 points. 1st, 7th, 30 points. 2nd, 6th, 20 points. 3rd, 5th, 10 points. 4th house, 0 points. That is how you see the strength, the directional strength of the planet. Okay. So now we have a fair idea of how to see the directional strength of these planets. Now how do we use it? You can use it in various ways for various purposes. But today I am talking about directional strength and principles. Is this person a person of principles, and how do you see principles? The Dharma trine is extremely important. The 1st, the 5th and the 9th house. The 9th house is the house where your father has taught you. Whatever your father teaches you is in the 9th house. Your principles, your values, your traditions, your principles, your commitments. Do you have the intelligence of sticking to your commitments? Do you have the intelligence of sticking to tradition? Tradition says you've given your word to somebody, you keep it. Principles say you've committed something to somebody, you keep it. Principles say if it's a friend, you stand by them no matter what. Unless, of course, the friend is also very wrong in some way. Principles say if you've committed yourself into a relationship, you stand by them through thick or thin. Principles say if you're in a business partnership, you stand by your partner. You're in it together, good or bad. You do not backstab, take advantage, take the business and flee from there. You do not do that. Righteousness says that. So it's the 9th house that will decide the righteousness of a person, how principled a person is. Take the 9th lord, check the directional strength. Directional strength means the knowledge or intelligence in that direction. Now if whichever planet is your 9th lord, if it has 100% directional strength, it means you have the knowledge and intelligence in that direction. You have that intelligence. And if it has 0 directional strength, it means there is a big lack in that direction. Many other things in the chart will decide, but this is very, very important. I'm not asking you to go home, start looking up your spouse's 9th lord's directional strength and then coming down to conclusions. Don't do that. Base is one thing, you cannot decide. There's so much else. But this will help you in matters related to the future, related to new relationships, people you don't know at all, absolutely nothing at all about. Of course, you should also in that case too check a lot of other things. But here I'm going to just explain to you with an example. Let's suppose you take a Cancer ascendant. See this from the ascendant. The 2nd house is a sign of Leo. Let's suppose Sun is in the 10th house. Maximum directional strength. And the 9th lord is Jupiter. Jupiter is in the 7th house. 0 directional strength. And 0 directional strength. And Jupiter will also be debilitated in the 7th house in the sign of Capricorn. Sun is going to be exalted in the sign of Aries in the 10th house. It's going to be Digbali. It has full points, 60 points. And Jupiter has 0 points. But Jupiter is the lord of the 9th house. Principles, values, traditions. And if you get into partnership with such a person, this person may have the intelligence of speech. They may know how to commit. They may know how to talk sweetly. And they will have the intelligence related to money. But they may not be very, very uprighteous. When the need arises, for finances, they have the intelligence. When they feel there is a financial benefit that they can take by breaking some word of theirs, by breaking a commitment, if they can do better in life, then they will go ahead with it. So, if somebody is committing something to you, do check their 2nd lord. If it has strong directional strength, if somebody is able to convince you about something, check their 2nd lord if they have strong directional strength. But the 9th lord has no directional strength. It could even have 20 points, and that too may be sufficient considering everything else in the chart. But if it has 0, if there is 0 strength, if it is in the opposite sign, then that can be an area of worry. So very simply, just check the 9th lord and the number of points it's getting, and that will help you decide in future on which person you can depend on and which person you should not depend on blindly. Sometimes we need to take a risk, we need to just trust people, and but here this is a simple technique that will help you decide on the right people you can count on without really knowing them. That is all for now. We'll be sharing a lot of more videos with you. Remember to subscribe and stay on. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.